Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at a Husqvarna 435 chainsaw. The customer complaint is that it's not oiling. He said he looked it over a little bit, couldn't figure it out. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know how deep he went into it, but it's really not going to change the way I'm going to approach this repair. So first thing I did was look in the oil tank and make sure that there was oil in it. We're going to run it here and see if it's actually oiling or not. So it looked like there's oil at the discharge tube, but it's not pumping oil. Let's clean this up a little bit and take a closer look. I'm going to want to remove the clutch. Husqvarna makes a special two-bladed clutch removal tool, and you use a 3/4 inch socket to turn it. I'm going to use an impact. There's other ways to do it. You could lock the piston and break it loose by hand if you wanted. But off comes the clutch, the drum, the bearing, and the worm gear. This worm gear has a metal spiral wound, I don't know, gear I guess we'd call it. And it looks like it's in good shape. There's a single screw that holds this chain guide plate in place. We'll take our handy dandy scrunch and back that screw out and remove the plate. Plate itself, you know, it lets some dirt behind there. This is our pump pinion. That's the gear that the worm gear turns. I'm going to clean this thing up a little bit. Now, those of you that had this part before, you can see that there's a piece missing, and I'm going to show it to you later. But there is a piece missing in here, and if he broke this down this far, he lost that piece. So this is our actual oil pump with our discharge hose. One side of the discharge hose accepts oil from the tank, and then it goes to the pump, and then the other side of the pump pushes it out the top of the hose to the discharge at the bar. That sounded like it was plugged up a little bit. Or it was just a lot of oil in there and it made it sound that way. Not sure. Just kind of inspecting it. I don't see any other dirt. We remove the pinion from the cylinder or sleeve of the oil pump. And make sure all the holes are clean. This pinion, you know, we're just inspecting how smooth that shaft is, and we're looking at the teeth on it to make sure that, you know, they're not worn. A lot of times you'll see a curve or wear in those teeth, and that's why the pump's not turning, and that's why it's not oiling. Now that hole right there is supposed to have a pin in it. And that's the part I was talking about before that you may know that it's missing. Well, the groove in that pinion rides on that pin, and later I'll show you how significant that is. Just going to clean this schmutz up here a little bit. So there's the discharge hole from the tank. And oil is maybe kind of trickling out of there. You know, it's got to get past the pickup screen on the tube in the tank. And the tank's got to be vented. So when I open this oil cap, it's really going to run out. And we were kind of emptying the tank through that discharge hole. And that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to make sure that that wasn't plugged up. And letting gravity do its work and seeing it flow without any pressure on it, that tells me that that hose is free. And I'm not sure about the tank vent though, or what kind of condition that's in. And on this model, it's hidden behind the starter. So we'll get this starter out of the way, and this air conductor, that's the black piece. So right there is your tank vent, and it's got some dirt all over it. That could have been restricted. And I'm just going to blow a little air through. Now that's cleaning off that sintered metal filter that's on the top, that bronze looking piece. And it's also blowing some air through the duckbill valve that's behind it. You know, sometimes in valves, they get a little sticky. It's just a piece of rubber with kind of a slit cut in it that naturally stays shut, but will allow air to come past it. And that air has to come past in order to equalize the pressure in the tank and let oil flow out of it. So let's get the starter bolted back on and take another look at the other side of the saw. You see the oil that ran out when I blew air pressure in there. So that's good. I know that's all clear. So I need another pin. And I have a donor saw here. The pins are just pushed in there. If that hole is sloppy and that pin wants to fall out, then maybe, you know, you could epoxy it into place. Here I'm just getting it started, and it feels fairly tight, and I'm going to take a hammer and tap it into place. And I feel pretty good that that pin is going to stay there, not just fall out. And I want to put together the pump now, and what I'm doing is I'm finding an oily spot on the rag, because I know I just had some fresh oil there. And just lubricating the shaft of that pinion or piston. Putting it in the cylinder. That feels good. Here's our discharge hose. Kind of a combination intake and discharge hose. You got to line up the pump, holes in the pump with the holes in the hose. And there's some flat sides on the pump that line up in a catch there on the crankcase. So you should theoretically only be able to put it in the right way. But see what happens when that pin is in place? That groove that's in the piston, it's not a straight groove. It's got a wobble in it. And that wobble lets that pinion run in and out of the cylinder. And that's what pumps your oil. Now I'm just cleaning off the back of the chain guide plate. Cleaning things up. Kind of looking to see if the old pin was stuck to it or something, but it wasn't. I didn't see the pin laying on the bench anywhere. I don't think I lost it. I think it was gone when I took that thing apart. Single screw will hold the chain guide plate in place. If this thing is cut up from chains slapping on it, then you'll want to replace it to help keep the dirt out from behind the pump there. At this point, I normally would grease the pinion and the worm gear and the needle bearing. For whatever reason, I didn't do it. So in this case, I'm going to ask you to do as I say and not as I do, and use a little bit of grease when you're putting this together. You see the drum had a couple of notches that line up with the worm gear. You want to make sure that's all lined up. Now I'm going to buzz that clutch back on with an impact, but I'm holding the starter rope out and I'm hitting the stop switch. That way I know that, you know, this warm engine won't accidentally start when I hit it with the impact. Everything looks good there. The starter pawl was hung up a little bit, but I think it'll be all right. Okay, we're going to want to test this, so I'm going to have to put some oil back into it. Once we get the oil in here, we're going to fire it up and see if it oils. And if it does, then that's all I'm going to have for you on the Husqvarna 435 chainsaw that wasn't oiling. Thanks for watching. Later.